Hello, this is RICKY, the Android guy. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Android Weekly / Android Q&A, where we go over the latest news that happened during the week and answer all of your questions live. Now, if it's your first time watching the show, it normally is on Sundays because of a couple things that I explained on Periscope. Catch me on there. Just subscribe to my Twitter feed, and it'll automatically show you every time. So yeah, I did a Periscope and said a lot of things happened this weekend, so we were delayed a bit. However, back on track, so I wanted to do it today, and I will go over what's going to happen next weekend, because next weekend I have a dinner on Sunday, so we'll go over that in a little bit. So how the show normally works is we're going to go over all the news topics that happened during the week. Then we're going to answer your questions live. So if you have a question you want to ask, just ask it in the comment section down below, and I will answer it at the end of this episode. If you are not watching live and you are watching the recording of this, well, then just email me at asktheandroidguy@gmail.com right here, and just email me and let me know what exactly you want to find out about, and I will answer it on next week's episode. Just that simple, just that easy, so hopefully you guys like that. All right, now let's get into the news. A lot of news happened during this week, so let's go over the big news, which is at Google I/O, everything that launched with especially Android M. Android M has 55 new features. It's a light touch, but it has some significant features. So let's go over a couple of them and let's share a little bit of Android knowledge. All right, the first one is something small. It is easy word select. That means that when you click, now it will highlight a word and it will go over between word to word instead of going over each and every letter. This makes copying and pasting much easier, so it's really nice. Also, in all text selection, you'll have a copy, paste, and cut button always there, which is just, again, this is just going to make it easier. This has been on apps before, but not Google as a whole. So now Google as a whole on Android will have this. Fingerprint sensor support from Android. What does this mean? This means that apps can utilize this basically to say if you want to use a password for your bank app instead of needing to put in your password. This will be allowed now, whereas before it wasn't. So it's just an API that's standard across Android so that apps can use your fingerprint in order to unlock certain features. A bank is the most useful one. It's probably one of the only ones I would use it for, really. Let me know which ones you would be okay with letting them have your fingerprint. Personally, banks are one of the only ones that I would, but I'm curious to see if you guys have any other ones. This also adds Android Pay. So while we're on the topic, let's go to Android Pay. So Android Pay, as we're being told, is not going to be a replacement for Android Wallet, but it'll be another thing entirely. Now, the idea behind Android Pay is it's just going to be a new NFC payment system that will operate with the fingerprint sensor that is on the device, as well as a token standard. So it's going to be that same token standard that we've seen on Apple Pay, that we're going to see on Samsung Pay, and that we're going to see kind of across the board. Tokens are going to be the way to secure your fingerprint so that no one else can get your information. Direct share. Direct share is going to be basically really improved all the way around in terms of sharing between files amongst Android. So right now, I see it all the time when like I'm trying to transfer a file between a Samsung S6 and an LG G4. It's not doing a correct job, and it's not doing it correctly. If it was a G4 to G4, it would do it perfectly. If it was an S6 to S6, it would do it correctly. But direct share will help this and fix a lot of the prioritizations and just make it easier for different manufacturers to be able to transfer as a standard. Some of these I'm not going to go through too much. Doze, I don't really feel. It's just basically that it's going to do a better job of hibernating. So when you don't, your battery life is going to be extended, basically, when you use this. Google said that when they did this on the Nexus 9, their battery life was doubled because when you're not using it, it will cut off your tablet or phone so that it's not really being utilized, and the idle stand will be for much, much longer. simplified volume keys. Basically, they're just bringing that back because it was taken away with Lollipop and it was more hectic. And other third-party manufacturers have done this. All right, one of the big ones. Let's get right to it. One of the big ones is Google Now on tap. This is a huge feature, and it's one that I want immediately. So what it's going to be is, say your friend tells you, let's eat at this place at Olive Garden for dinner. You hold down the Google Now button or say, okay, Google, and you say, hey, Google, is this place any good? And it will bring up information on the Olive Garden. It'll also give up links as for OpenTable, Yelp, their contact number, Google Maps, the drive to it. All of these things are going to pop up right away because it understands you're talking about what's on your screen. And that's what's really crazy about it. You can literally say, have a song playing and be like, who is the guitar player for this? And Google will understand what the song is then, and then tell you what the guitar player is. This is really an amazing feature, and it's really great because even like if I just want to say, hey, if I want to say, what times is this playing at AMC Burbank? I can actually see, and it will pull up exactly the times, and everything's just perfect with it. So it's a really great feature, one that I am very, very happy with. All right, other main things. Let's see. New permissions. So permissions are really big now. This is a great feature that is going to be implemented. So you will no longer give permission for apps to look at everything now. Instead, an app will ask you, the example they gave was WhatsApp. If WhatsApp comes around and you hit the mic on WhatsApp, WhatsApp is then going to ask you for permission to have access to your microphone. You can either hit yes or no at that point, and then you will give permission, and you will know when you're giving permission to an app. It will not be any other time, and it will not be standard. Actually, they have no permissions until this section goes, which is great. The only problem is they have to update their app in order to go along with this, which I feel like they're going to need motivation, or Google might need to be like, look, we're not going to bring you up unless you, kind of show off or feature you unless you have these features. Kind of like what they did with tablet apps, and that's one of the ways that Google greatly increased the tablet app selection is by doing that. So hopefully this will be the similar kind of feature. Yeah, other than that, USB Type-C charging will be coming at the end of the year, as we've heard in previous past, and it just got confirmed. Yeah, lots of other features, but those are kind of the biggest ones. Now on tap, again, is probably the biggest one available. That's a soundbar one. Do not disturb. Now you can just kind of toggle that even more. So new app drawer. I'm not a fan of this. Not a fan of this. I am a fan of this. So this will be your most frequently used or recent apps at the top, and then you will have all of your apps in alphabetical order. This is kind of a step back to me. It's kind of going back to the olden days of Android. I don't know. I'm not too big of a fan of it. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys like this new app drawer, or do you like the current one? App drawer search, which we had before, a little bit tweaks here to just a slightly different style compared to the old dialer. New Easter egg. Theme options built in. So themes will be a built-in option now, which is just nice that you have that built into Google itself. And yeah, that's going to be the big ones. There's a battery optimizer. There is a standard built-in Google memory usage, which is good just because, and Google is supposed to take hold of the RAM so much better. All right, and then two of the last big features. The Photos app. You need to download Photos app immediately if you haven't and use it. This can now store every single photo you have. We will be doing a video on this week. but basically it can store every single photo you've ever taken, and it will take it to up to 16 megapixels and 1080p without downgrading it whatsoever. But the biggest thing about this is when you click the search button, you can actually search for whatever you want to search for. So say if I wanted to click search and search for, anything along the lines of clicking search and typing in beaches, it will go and find every beach that I've taken a photo in or taken a photo of, or even a wallpaper with a beach in it, and it will bring that up. It's amazing how great this system is, and it really is a lot more convenient. I can look at pictures of me. I can look at pictures of my fiance. I can look at pictures of my brother, my mom, from doing like a family collage thing. It really is impressive just how accurate it is. Of course, it's not perfect. It still needs some work, but it's a humongous start and a great way to search for your items. And the last feature is that, yes, there is a built-in multi-window hidden in M, but it looks like it's not going to be available at launch. So either it will not be available at all at launch, or this will be a feature that comes later on down the line, maybe in M 5.1 or 5.1.1, or however it's going to be. All right, moving on to the next news. So I'll go through this quicker. Google I/O is a big thing. Now, yes, guys, this has been released. The Iron Man S6 Edge, they sold for about $1,100, and the highest price I've seen bid for this has been $34,000. Yes, some people are making a killing off of this, and it is just very hurtful. I hate them. But yes, you can see that, yes, this was the Iron Man unboxing that Samsung had itself. And yes, it looked beautiful. I love that wireless charger. So yes, this is content that was available from Samsung this week. But the big thing that comes from Sam Mobile, and apparently there is a Project V, which is the first possible foldable smartphone with a dual screen. So what this leads me to believe was the original concept for this. It was presented at CES, I want to say more than 2 years ago. I think it was 3 years ago, actually. So what happened at CES was they showed, let me explain this. So they showed a product that was like this, that was one big screen. So right, like a tablet, and then you would fold it, but then the fold side would be a smartphone. So you'd have one big screen on the inside and then one screen on the outside. So you basically have an entire tablet in your pocket that's also a smartphone. This was amazing, and it was a concept 3 years ago. This could be a reality, is what this. Now, this is in the very early stages, so it could be scrapped at any point. That's how early this is. But it's called Project Valley or Project V, and it's being talked about in Korea apparently, and it's all about this. And there was a rumor before that Samsung could have a foldable device in early 2016. So this kind of goes with that look, this could be a reality. My guess is if we see this, who knows, it could finally be Samsung's big announcement at CES, because they have not been impressive at CES last year, and so we'll see if they are this year. All right, Asus did a huge announcement yesterday, and we are going to go over the highlights. First of all, the Zenfone Selfie. No word on price point yet, but this is all about the selfie aspect. So it is a 13 megapixel with a flash. The only one that's done this before is Desire Eye. And they started this trend, and now Asus is taking it a step further, not only being able to have the 2.2 aperture on the front, but also having an 88-degree wide field of view. So it's a pretty wide field of view for a front camera. The rear camera and the front are both 13 megapixels. However, the front does have a f2.2 aperture, whereas the rear has a 2.0 aperture, meaning that it's going to be better in low light on the rear. But it also has an optional selfie swing. So you will literally have a piece that goes like this, and it will let you available to stand the smartphone, somewhere else to be able to take a quick photo of you. So the rest of the phone is going to be identical to the Zenfone 2. It's going to be a 5.5-inch screen, Gorilla Glass 4 instead, though, which is the other one had Gorilla Glass 3. And they also have the mid-range octa-core on this one with Snapdragon 615 on this one instead of the Intel version. So that's the differences. Again, no idea on release date and pricing as of yet, but that's the information we have for the Zenfone Selfie. Next announcement they did was the ZenPad S8. Sharp screen, slim body, and plenty of RAM. That was the tagline. So for this tablet, they will have the ZenPad S8 was the flagship of this announcement. And this one does have a metal backing at 6.6 millimeters, so pretty thin. It has a 324 pixels per inch, and unfortunately they killed it by making it a 4:3 aspect ratio, which we all know how I feel about those. It does have the Intel Atom processor along with, the Intel Atom processor along with 4 gigs of RAM, so it's very, very similar to how we've seen the current Zenfone really being done, but the metal really does look nice. You have to hand it to it. It has a nice brush. I just wonder how much that's going to get scratched up. That's my main concern. However, they also did announce some other things with this. One of the biggest things being a case that has a speaker system. It has 6 speakers and a subwoofer. And so the case has a built-in speaker, which is definitely different, and huge kudos to Asus for coming up with this. You literally have amazing sound quality from a case. Why didn't anyone think of this? This is an awesome feature, and I really have to give it to them for that. With this, they're also going to have a 7-inch, which is an entry-level device, and a 10-inch, which also seems to be an entry-level device. Didn't give much detail on those, but the main thing, again, is the Tab S8, which is going to be their main new tablet. And the last news from Asus. Again, if you have any questions, make sure to ask them in the comment section down below now, and we'll get to them at the end of this last news. So, the Zen Watch 2. Zen Watch 2 is really, let's be honest, following suit of the iWatch, or sorry, the Apple Watch rather. And that is, it's going to come in a bigger one, a smaller one, which is smart. You know, Samsung was the one that pioneered this, but really not to the same effect that Apple did. And now, so Zen Watch is basically doing more similar. You're going to have 2 sizes, one coming with a 22 millimeter strap, another coming with an 18 millimeter strap. No word exactly, I believe, on the screen size difference. Although the more durable one will come with a 2.5 Gorilla Glass 3. 2.5D, sorry, Gorilla Glass 3. Yes, no word exactly on the different sizes of the screens, at least not yet. However, we are going to have basically the same thing besides that. So besides the ability to have the changeable straps, you're still going to have water resistance, still going to have the Qualcomm processor on there. Everything else is pretty much going to be the same. You do have on the bigger one a little button so they can just turn the clock on and off, and the smaller one does not have that. You just tap it and it'll wake. So yeah, guys, this is going to be the main differences. Not a whole lot different, but it is going to be different enough, and they are going to have AMOLED screens again. So yes, these are going to be the features that you're going to have an AMOLED screen and a thicker glass. So that's going to be better, but the processor hasn't been named. It is a Qualcomm processor, but we believe it to be the same. And the main feature is that the charger is going to be like the Gear S charger, where it's a battery backup as well, so you can on-the-go charge your watch. All right, that was the news during the week. We had a lot to catch up on. Sorry it took so long. And now let's take a look if there are any questions. Let's see. Okay, so it doesn't look like we have questions today. Unfortunately, it's probably because of just the time difference. I normally don't do this on Mondays. Unfortunately, I had to today just because I didn't want to miss out on a week. If you guys have any questions, ask in the comment section now, and I will get to them as soon as I get a chance. But I wanted to share some things with you. So this Sunday, unfortunately, I cannot film. I'm going to a dinner with friends that I haven't seen for a very long time. So for that reason, we will not be able to do an Android Weekly on Sunday. However, I'm thinking we will do it Saturday night. So Saturday night, we will have an Android Weekly, or Friday night. Actually, I will ask you guys that just in the comment section down below. Type in Friday or Saturday. When would you rather have it? I'm thinking Friday might be better, actually, but we'll see. Let me know when you guys prefer it, and we will have it on that day. All right, guys. Again, sorry for the delay. Follow me on Periscope. I think I will always do a Periscope video on Twitter anytime we miss out on Android Weekly, and I'll kind of tell the reason, because that way it's quick. I can do that on the go. If I'm somewhere where I wasn't home and that was the reason why we couldn't do it, I will let you guys know then and there. But yeah, guys, that was Android Weekly today. And again, sorry for the delay. I do apologize. But yes, that's why it just was a craziness. To give you a background on what I talked about in Periscope. So what happened was basically that this weekend, originally, as most of you guys know, I became engaged with my fiance, proposed to her on a cruise, and originally we were going to have a wedding, but now because of relatives being like, wanting us to have a wedding, now we might have one. So that was a lot this weekend. I put up security cameras at my parents' restaurant. And then I also did another thing where I set up the where I'm changing my laptop. So I'm changing from one laptop to another. So that was all the stuff that basically took my entire weekend and really kind of, yes, took a lot out of it. All right, Kenneth, you did ask, what do I think about the Z Plus? I'm guessing you mean the Z3 Plus from Sony. And I think it's really good. I want it, or sorry, that was Majad, not King. So what do I think about the Z3 Plus? I want to review it. I really do. I have reached out to Sony's PR, and I have wanted to review their products. Unfortunately, at this time, I have not received anything from them. I encourage you guys, there's a reason I got the G4, and honestly, it has a lot to do with you guys. I would say you should, if you want me to review a product, reach out to them on Twitter, say, hey, Asus, like at Asus, we want the Android guy to review the Zenfone or the Zen Watch. Or hey, Sony, we want the Android guy to review the Z3 Plus. And say that, and hopefully they'll get to do the at Android guy, at Ask the Android guy, and then at Sony Mobile, so that they get tagged and I get tagged, and then they can realize like, hey, wait, we actually want to see this. And yeah, that really worked for LG. You guys told them that we wanted to review this device. We got it in, and that's why we're reviewing it right now. We got the review up, we got the 10 hidden features up, and it was because of you guys doing that. So that's a really good reason that if you guys want me to review the products, definitely do that. It really helps, and it's how we got LG finally to wake up to that. Should I get the Moto 360 for $150 from Best Buy? See, that's kind of tough because, yes, the Moto 360 for $150 is really good. By the way, I think the G Watch R is that same price on AT&T's website, or maybe even be $99. Here's the thing. With the Moto 360 for $150, you have to keep in mind this. It is going to be replaced probably within the next month. So yeah, you have to keep that in mind. It will most likely be replaced within the next month. So as long as you're going to be okay with that. Now, if the Zen Watch is any good indication, They didn't change much. I mean, you're still using, it sounds like it's going to be the same processor. And that, yeah. So yeah. Mjad. Oh, not Mjad. Mahed? Sorry, man. Sorry I'm butchering your name. I really, yes. Sorry, I'm always bad with names. Yes. Sorry. Hopefully I pronounced Majed. I don't know. Majed? Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. Sorry if I butchered your name. What do you think about the Sony Z3 Plus? I had mentioned that earlier. Again, with the Sony Z3 Plus, if you want me to review the Sony Z3 Plus, go on Facebook, go on Twitter, say at Sony Mobile USA or Sony Mobile. We want at Ask the Android Guy to review the Xperia Z3 Plus. That really helps. And that is how LG ended up finding out to send us a G4 by that. So definitely, again, if you guys want me to review stuff, do that, and that helps a lot. If you want me to review the Asus Zenfone, I've contacted Asus. I know someone on the last show told them to, like, hey, send this. The more tweets they get or the more Facebook posts they get, the more likely we will actually get it. So yes. When will Lollipop be coming to the Tab 4 8.0? Some of the Tab 4s already got it, so it should be getting it soon. Do you have an LTE model or a Wi-Fi model? Because the Wi-Fi models, most of them got it already, but I'm guessing the LTE will come in time. However, yeah, most of the Wi-Fi models have gotten it, or I would expect them to get it within a month. But most of them have gotten it. Let me just lower this a little bit. One last question. Can I have the G4 that you are reviewing? No, you cannot have the G4 that I'm reviewing. No, this is a very specific model anyway. It's for review. It's actually a Wi-Fi G4. It has no SIM card slot. You cannot activate it on any carrier. So yes, it really is for reviewing. It's the first time I've ever had a company do this, but this is our first LG, so we're just happy that they finally chose us to review their product, and hopefully they will continue to have us review their product in the coming future. But yeah, so this was the G4. I've been playing with it a little bit now. And really it comes down to the camera shootout that a lot of you guys have asked for. The camera comparison between the G4 and the S6. I know a lot of you guys want this comparison. This is one thing we will have it. So yes. I have an T-Mobile LTE. I never watched that movie Glory. So yes. But yeah, guys, so that's pretty much it for today, I think, unless you guys have any other questions. Yeah, that was pretty much for the most part. A lot of stuff on Google I/O. Some stuff I'm excited for. Really, I mean, the biggest thing was cleaning up the RAM mess in Lollipop, because that has created so many issues, and I just can't wait for all that stuff to be fixed. I want all that stuff to be fixed. I was so much happier with KitKat than I have been with Lollipop, and Lollipop was probably the worst update since Honeycomb. It just was a half-baked idea. So yes, it's yeah. Thank you for the congratulations on my engagement. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, Kenneth. And see, this is why I don't say names, because then if I get it wrong, then I'm an ass. But I don't mean to be wrong. I'm just bad with names. So thank you guys for the congratulations on the engagement. Yes. Now it's just the fun part of possibly planning a wedding, which, yeah, it's so much fun. Yeah, guys, so that's going to be it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Please give a like, thumbs up for this video. And again, let me know what day you want Android Weekly to be this upcoming week. Do you want it to be Friday night, or do you want it to be Saturday night? I'm guessing Saturday night was what I was originally going with, but if you have another reason why you want a different day, please let me know in the comment section down below. I will check this about 3 days from now to see when I'm going to be getting it. What cases should I get for the Tab 4 8.0? For the Tab 4 8.0, I'm not really sure. I would get the bookcase off the top of my head. Yeah, that's the only one that I can think of off the top of my head. Sorry, my dog's barking because someone's at the door, and my fiance apparently can't get it right now. So yes. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, so I will cut it off right here so I can go figure out who's knocking. All right. Thank you for guys watching. This has been RICKY, the Android Guy.